Oh, shit. All right, so I believe our second topic of the day is going to be handed over to my man, Tay Tay. What are you talking about, Taylor?
So I wanted to talk about video game soundtracks and soundtracks that tickled your guys' ear pussies and
Ear pussy.
things like that. Just
The ear
interesting
pussies,
soundtracks, or maybe even just discussions on whether or not the soundtracks in games are important to you guys.
Cool.
For me personally, I really love game soundtracks, even movie soundtracks too. I'm a soundtrack guy. So the quality or how good a soundtrack is really important to me.
Yeah, like you buy some on vinyl and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I enjoy lots of soundtracks, but I think it's important that it's good for a game, especially for atmosphere and stuff like that, for it to have good sound direction. A lot of the games that I was going to talk about today were older ones. I don't know if you guys had any newer games to go on, but we'll just jump into one of the ones I had here. So the first one I had on here is Earthbound. I don't know if you guys have played this one.
Mm-hmm.
Earthbound is it was a Super Nintendo game for us. It was released in Japan, I think, for the normal Nintendo in 1994, and then it came over to North America in 1997 or 1995. Sorry. For the Super Nintendo. So Earthbound, you play as Ness. You're a little kid. You run around his little city. You beat up dirty hippies, and space aliens come in.
Retro hippies.
Sorry, dirty retro hippies.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're
called. The soundtrack, it was made by Keiichi Suzuki and Hirokazu Chip Tanaka. So Chip Tanaka is a pretty famous guy in video game soundtrack history because he actually invented new chips for the Super Nintendo or the normal Nintendo in order to get different sounds, and he also was one of the first pioneers in like changing different noises slightly for different things that you're doing.
Cool.
Like if you were jumping with Mario, the longer your jump was, the sound would change slightly. Right?
Oh, so he's a fucking genius then.
It was just a little, and like footsteps and jumping at different noises and stuff like that. He also wanted to add in the first Donkey Kong game. He wanted to add in a voice for Peach that would be like, "Help me, help me." But
in the first Donkey Kong game?
Yeah, when you're Mario jumping.
Yeah, that's Daisy though.
Oh, sorry.
Boom.
But anyway, yeah, I guess the daughter of the president of Nintendo told him it didn't sound enough like a girl saying "help me," so he didn't put it in there.
Huh.
It's pretty interesting. But the soundtrack for Earthbound, it's great. It's got tons of influences from the Beatles, Beach Boys, and even Monty Python.
Cool.
So much so that I think that they were slightly worried about lawsuits from them. Especially the Beatles aspect of it.
Yeah, no
some
shit.
of the riffs and stuff like that are directly taken from Beatles songs. I don't know if it was specific to why they didn't release it right away in North America, but I know that it was something that they definitely thought about when the game was coming out, that they were worried about it. But
makes sense.
It's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
If you haven't,
it is a great soundtrack.
Played the game.
That's one game that I've actually never finished, but I played the shit out of it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. No.
Yeah.
It's on the Wii U Virtual Console now, so you can get it. It's probably the easiest way to get it.
Yeah, it's a rare game to find on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it is, or the Super Famicom.
Yeah, my buddy Matt owns it.
Yeah, so does Trav.
I'm gonna rob him.
Both.
I think soundtracks are super important to a game. They can, if you have a really, really well-designed soundtrack, it instantly makes it recognizable and more memorable and can stand the test of time. One of the ones I got on my list, I'll give a shout-out to, is it's another old one, but there's new ones too. Specifically, Ocarina of Time, for me, Zelda, and even the more original ones, the tunes in that, I can hear them, and I'll instantly know what the hell it is, right? So that immediately, like, I'll hear the tune and I can see pictures of the game in my mind, right? In my mind's eye. That is the instant connection that you can make with a good soundtrack and a good game. Mm-hmm. When the two blend together seamlessly, then it's magical almost, right? Because we've been listening to songs from Zelda for 20-something years now, right?
26, 27?
Yeah, something like that. And it's like ingrained in our brain at this point.
Oh yeah.
right? So I think it's integral to game design to have good sound design and production and soundtracks specifically, right? And original stuff too. I think is more like all the ones on our list, or at least my list, are original content.
Yep.
Not licensed songs and stuff like that. Like you could make an argument, Rock Band is my favorite soundtrack, right? That's great, but it's also probably your favorite fucking mixtape that you made back in the day. Shut up. Yeah.
Your favorite rock album is Big Shiny Tunes too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Koji Kondo is the legendary
Koji Kondo.
composer for the Zelda franchise, and fuck, he nailed it.
Yeah, he does Zelda, he does Mario as well.
Right.
Ocarina of Time, everything up to Ocarina of Time, all the soundtracks and sound is all done by Koji, like with very little to no help or co-writers or whatever.
Yeah, and with what few notes he had to work with, he made the game seem even more grandiose just with that music, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. And I remember when I read that when they hired him or whatever to make the soundtrack for Mario, he was really focused on making music that you can, when you're replaying over and over and over again through the same stuff, you can listen to that same song over and over and over again and not
Totally
feel like you're hearing the exact same thing.
That's fucking tough,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I had Koji on my list as well, for Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah.
Majora's Mask, it was not done just by him. It was him and I had the name here, Toru Minagishi. Yeah, that's the first game that he did with somebody else co-writing the music for him or with him. Yeah, I love the music in that one a little bit more than even Ocarina of Time. It's just a little bit darker. It's like you get little weird kind of distorted versions.
Bit of a darker game too.
Yeah, definitely of the Ocarina music and stuff like that. I liked how you could play the Song of Time backwards or slower or double time kind of thing, and to change the course of time. I really liked all those aspects of the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, that whole soundtrack just makes that series. Once or at least for Ocarina and Majora's Mask. The other ones, it's not so prominent because you're not really like playing the music so much. But yeah, those two, especially the soundtrack is just...
Yeah, that's a good point. I never actually made that connection of why I liked that soundtrack, but you actually do play a musical instrument in it.
Yeah, you play through most of the songs in the game.
Oh, memories.
Yeah, I remember that shit. It's in there. What about you, Daniel-san?
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one because, like, when you told me this was the topic, the first thing that came to my mind was I tend to turn the music off a lot in a lot of games, and it got me thinking about what games do I do that in, and what games do I not do that in. And I think mainly it might just be more competitive type games where I'll do that, so I can focus.
Right.
And I was thinking,
makes
I mean,
sense.
Effects, yeah, I mean, we could say, like, me and Taylor are both musicians, so music kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more... Oh, that's probably not at all. Never mind. I'll forget that thread of conversation. But yeah, I mean, God of War soundtrack, man, I like a lot because I like big bombastic shit, and that's about as big and bombastic as you can get. And it's and I was just came to me now.
Orchestral, right?
I think it's all done with orchestra.
Yeah, huge orchestra. Yeah, it's crazy. Just like go for more. And but apart from that, like Metal Gear Solid 3, I really like. Like the theme from that is just so cool.
The opening theme.
Yeah, it's so cool, so good. When you climb the ladder and it just comes in a cappella.
James Bond, man, it's so good.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
And aside from that, like Shadow of the Colossus, which we talked about, I think, on the last episode.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful,
that was a great
haunting
one too.
kind of
Good
soundtrack.
shout.
Yeah, that's a masterpiece.
And yeah. I mean, Uncharted as well. Like, that's a great theme. That's recognizable.
That is a great theme. Yeah, totally.
Well written. The Last of Us has some great music.
Even The Last of Us, yeah. I mean, like, oh man, that's all done by a Spanish guitarist or whatever.
Red Dead Redemption had another really, really good soundtrack too.
Oh yeah.
They had some good original music written for it.
Oh yeah, Redemption. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that one's really, really good. Didn't Anicio Morricone do a song for that?
I believe so.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did the
but
one with the
not 100%.
with the guitar, the acoustic
Mexico,
guitar.
the Mexico
Yeah,
theme,
totally. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not 100% though on that.
No, me neither. But I'm pretty sure you're right.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure. Anicio Morricone is the guy who does the Western music for most of the or all of the Clint Eastwood westerns from the 70s.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. He's a huge Western music.
Nice. Spaghetti Western.
Yeah, spaghetti westerns.
Word.
Exactly.
I never finished that
You
game, by
know,
the way.
Nikki?
Yeah, I got a few. I mean, a big one for me, and it's not only one of my favorite soundtracks, but it's also probably my favorite sound design in any video games is the Mass Effect franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Good show.
The soundtracks to that just they tug at heartstrings for me. They really do. It brings back so many
Morden.
like flooding memories of Morden Solus. Don't you speak his name?
You can't forget him. You have to talk about
Dude,
him.
remember, remember when I
raw.
lost Thane?
It's too raw. It's only been years.
I had to come and talk to Nikolai when I lost Thane in my Mass Effect 2 playthrough. It ruined me.
Yeah, we had to have like a kumbaya.
Yeah, we had
I had to pick my man back up off the ground. And I was like,
do a
it's
little
okay,
wake for him."
man. I know. I know.
Talk about all the best
Still
times.
alive in my world, but just so you know, I did better
coulda
by
saved
Thane
him,
than
But you
you.
didn't.
But please keep feel better.
bastard.
I know.
Yeah, those games have
Jacob.
awesome music
Yeah,
for sure.
that guy sucks.
One knows why he should be the first to die. It's not my fault. It's an unwritten rule.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus. Anyway. The composers of that, at least the original Mass Effect, were Jack Wall and Sam Hewlett, with additional music by Richard Jacks and David Cates.
Well done, gentlemen.
And kudos to you, motherfuckers. You did a phenomenal job on the soundtrack.
Sure did, man.
Just even the opening bits with the sci-fi boinks and
Totally,
doings and
Box and
shit
doing.
like
I
that.
A little technical
You know,
terms.
just like it's like ambient noise with a couple little
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
Bong.
Yeah. No, that's good.
You know,
Pink Floyd style.
I fucking love that shit, man. It's so spacey and sci-fi,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because it's more my jam. I'm a very, very sci-fi guy,
Yeah, me too.
Sci-fi.
right? I'm way more than high fantasy
Yeah.
Same.
and shit like that. I'm a sci-fi dude. Yeah,
Totally, man.
Definitely.
It's a good shout.
that's yeah.
I had another one. This guy's a big heavy hitter. I'm pretty sure that one of you guys probably already have him on here for maybe another game. But so we got Nobuo Uematsu. Nobuo is he's the Squaresoft guy essentially. He did all the Final Fantasies up until 10 completely by himself. 10 he had somebody else work with him. 11, I think he only did 11 tracks on 11. I think that's the one where he did very little, and then after that he starts doing it again. But yeah, Nobuo is great. I've got him on here for FF7. That is probably the number one soundtrack for me anyway.
Cool.
Is that one?
Good show, man.
It's
That's a
fucking
great soundtrack.
Just amazing. Like,
Yeah.
and it's all done in MIDI, which is crazy.
Wow.
He makes it sound like it's a full orchestra with just all MIDI noises.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's fucking impressive.
It's insane. And then they do full orchestral concerts for the album. You can listen to the whole album, and they do tours of it like across the world essentially. To do not just that game. I mean, all of the Final Fantasies, all the games
Right.
that he's done. Essentially, you can do it. And he actually had a rock band with a bunch of Squaresoft employees in like the early 2000s called the Black Mages, and they would go around and play Final Fantasy music with like rock arrangements essentially.
Right.
So I think that's pretty fucking sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, that's badass.
Yeah.
I've got him on my list as well, but not for Final Fantasy. I got him down for Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
that's another one where
amazing.
he used nothing but MIDI and made it sound very orchestral. But
Yeah.
he was not the only composer on that one. It was also Yasunori Mitsuda, Nobuo Uematsu, and Uematsu. Oh no, I wrote Uematsu twice. Noriko Matsueda as well.
Rico Matsueda.
Noriko Matsueda.
Yeah.
There's a shout out. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Chrono Trigger. That was a great game with a great soundtrack. We'll breeze by my amazing Asian accent.
Even Chrono Cross, the soundtrack on that one's excellent. The game is not nearly half as good, but yeah, soundtrack. Good.
Did you say the game is not as good as what?
As Chrono Trigger. Chrono Cross.
We're talking Chrono Trigger.
I just said the soundtrack on Cross.
Okay. I missed that part, and I was like, wait. I'm like, what are you saying? 'Cause Chrono Trigger's amazing.
They're with me.
Blasphemy! Yeah, you're right. You win. Hi.
Yeah. But yeah, Nobuo Uematsu is insane.
Cool.
Just the arrangements that he can make with just small MIDI noises is it's epic. Yeah.
He's one of the greats.
Yeah, you can play any one of those games, and trust me, Danny, you will not turn off the soundtrack.
Totally.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I got one more on my list I'll give a shout out to. It's a more recent one it's a bit older now, but we're all a bit older now, aren't we?
Yeah.
The Halo franchise, specifically the first one, that I think was fully orchestrated, or
It's got
it was a full orchestra as well.
Yeah.
But that was another one that created an awesome sense of like the world around it and making it seem intense and the heavy drums.
So big, yeah.
Yeah, make it grandiose again.
Yeah.
Make it an epic feeling, you know. And,
Yeah.
and that soundtrack is one that is instantly recognizable, and a more modern one, right?
Yeah, and the cinematics in that game really lent well to the soundtrack, or the soundtrack really lent well to the cinematics.
Probably more of that one, yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, just the way that they put them together just went. It was one of those first games that I played that I was like, this is like movie quality.
Right, that's when things like the paradigm shift almost happened was around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I mean, soundtracks are important. I think that they
Music, man.
They deserve to be
Yeah.
Music
one of the
helps
top
things,
that you think about
you
when
know,
you make
Like
stay in the
I couldn't name a single composer or song that I liked from like any of the Call of Duties.
No.
They all just seem kind of bland and stuff like that, but and just generic,
Yeah.
right? So that's the contrast of
Sure.
what a good soundtrack can do.
And I like the music in Grand Theft Auto and everything. but
Sure. Yeah.
It's
I
all
Good
don't,
shout.
licensed.
Good
I
shout.
don't need to
Well,
like
yeah.
I don't need to have that on or whatever. Like that's something that I could turn off and not
Right?
really
Yeah,
stress
yeah.
it, you know?
Like the cassette tapes in Metal Gear.
yeah. Oh, I love the cassettes in
Yeah, there's the difference.
But that's like Maneater and shit. I guess maybe it's because you get to choose what it is. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But yeah, there's something about the radio stations in GTA that I'm just like.
Not your genres,
Don't
maybe
need it.
either.
Well, I like the music.
Okay.
Like I like a lot of the. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't like every song on any of the channels. That's
Right.
for sure. But I mean, I can certainly. Maybe it's just there's not enough on the few channels.
Danny just puts Wham on repeat.
Yeah.
I just wait for it to come on.
I mean,
Takes forever.
you're waiting, yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, but I like.
What? I didn't say it was a bad thing.
They should put it in there more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like having original soundtracks. I think better than
Totally.
Than just
Oh, I wasn't calling you bastards, by the way. I was like, the Rockstar are bastards for not having it on more often.
I don't think Nick does.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't call you bastards.
You
Yeah,
got
you
any more on your list there, Danny Pooh?
I have one like track which I loved, which is recent, and it is in my favorite game of all time, Batman Arkham City. And it's when when you're in Crime Alley and you find the little chalk outline of the parents and you go and pay your respects.
You get to pay your respects. Yeah.
I love that little piece of music, man. It's really sad. It's really tragic. I just sit there. Maybe sometimes I'll pick up my guitar and I'll just.
Have you teared up at that scene before?
I haven't teared up at it, but I've enjoyed playing my guitar along with it. Really, really.
Not even just a little light glistening of the eyes.
Right,
you
I
know?
cried my eyes out.
Weeks
Okay,
for you.
fuck you.
That's okay.
That's a good one. I like that though. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I liked about the Last of Us stuff too. It just so sad and slow.
It's haunting,
Somber
right?
as fuck.
Melancholy and
Yeah.
haunting and ethereal almost.
Totally. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I like that.
Yeah, dude. Word
Good.
up,
That was a good
You
topic,
got any more on
man.
your list?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it. I think
That's
Yeah, I
my
was thinking-
topic.
yeah.
Totally. Right on, man.
Probably
Solid
time
topic.
these.
That's
Yeah.
why I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. That was a good one. So, soundtracks. They are important, and we do like them.
100%.
Noted.
Moral of that story.
More on that story tonight at Never.
Never.
So, that being said, we'll move on to the third and final topic.